A woman says she rented a room in her son's house to several people, and those people loaded up a truck and stole thousands of dollars worth of her son's belongings. She tells us she caught them red-handed and even got it on camera, but when she went to police, she says she couldn't get any action. And as Fox 47's Alani Latang reports, although she wants to remain anonymous, she believes her story could help others.
They said, well, there's nothing that can be done now, so keep us informed if anything else happens. And I'm thinking, why? Why? But they just didn't do anything. And
this May, her son was away from his home for several months when his ex-girlfriend rented a room to 4 people. She said at first the ex came to her with complaints.
Was calling me all hours of the night, telling me how horrible it was and everything and how bad they were and they're bad people. And, I'm saying, okay, well, there's nothing I can do about that. You took them in. And so she ended up moving out.
And that's when the woman tells us the problems started to surface. The dirty condition of the home, missing items.
I had to go up in the attic for something, and I walked up there and that ice auger was gone. And I thought, what in the world? So then I started looking around, and there was a bunch of stuff gone. So I called the police.
But she said the police were little to no help at all, claiming there was nothing they could do for her son's items.
Called
Jackson City Police.
8, I'd say at least 8 times.
What do they say to you each time?
Same thing. There's nothing we can do.
One time, one officer took her to a pawn shop where the renters allegedly took her son's stuff.
And talked with the dealer, and he arranged for me to get back like 2 things. I think it was like 85 movies and an Atari that he arranged for me to get back, and he just gave them to me. He took them off the shelf the minute I walked in there because he knew where it had come from.
After renting that room for about 2 months, the woman got a call from a neighbor claiming those renters loaded up a truck with her son's stuff. The woman claims more than $20,000 worth of items were stolen, but was told that there would be no charges because prosecutors said there wasn't enough evidence.
I feel horrified because I have a ton of evidence, and no one ever asked me, is there any evidence? I was the one that pressed charges. My son was unavailable, and they said they could only speak to the victim. They never spoke to me or him. And I tried hundreds of times. I mean, that office knows my name. If I call there, they just say, well, we can't talk to you.
And that was Alani Latang reporting. We called both the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and the County Prosecutor's Office, and we will let you know once we hear back. The Clinton County Road Commission says the tree that killed a 32-year-old after it fell onto his car was not their responsibility. The commission says trees on private property are the responsibility of the homeowner. Yesterday, neighbors on Webb Road in DeWitt Township said they complained to the Road Commission multiple times about the tree, but nothing was done.
We maintain from the shoulder to shoulder on each side of the road, and so, it's a very unfortunate incident, and we're trying to work through it.
Police have not yet released the name of the victim. The teenager who was shot outside a convenience store in Jackson last week has died. Police say 19-year-old Jazrell Witherspoon passed away over the weekend. He was shot outside Frank's Finer Foods on Wednesday night. No arrests have been made. Anyone with information is asked to call the Jackson Police Department. A lightning strike to a power pole in Lansing's Riotown neighborhood knocked out power to about 13,000 BWL customers overnight. It happened around 2 a.m. and power was fully restored by about 6 a.m. The BWL says the lightning strike did not cause any permanent damage. Well, it's a little drizzly out there this evening, Dustin. Will the rain let up by the time the kids head to the bus stop?
Tomorrow, rain is not a big concern in the daytime, so this is still a little bit of our break. It's certainly still moist out there. We got the clouds, we got the fog, a little bit of fresh rain maybe here and there on the ground, but it's been very little actual rainfall. It's just been a lot of sprinkles and drizzles. We see the cloud cover still kind of persisting, But other than that, no real rain being reported on our radar, just maybe, again, occasional sprinkles. It could be like that throughout a lot of the night. Tomorrow has a little bit of a higher chance for those rain and thunderstorms, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Winds are light after being a breezy wind out of the northwest today. It brought some of our temperatures only into the 60s for highs up north. It did reach over 70 Coldwater and Adrian today. Mostly seasonable weather, and even now still holding on to those mid and upper 50s. But as we get into tomorrow, we are talking about greater chances for rain. Anything tonight, pretty much just mostly cloudy, but maybe a chance for spotty showers or rumble of thunder Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. You see there's not a lot going on here. But later on, after midnight, late overnight through Wednesday night, early Thursday, there's your line of thunderstorms. That should be with a cold front, could produce some more heavy rain for us. We'll talk more about that coming up.
All right, Dustin, thank you. Michigan State University is rounding up bird scooters. The MSU Police Department says it has impounded about 100 of the electric scooters recently because they're in violation of school parking rules. The scooters must be parked in metered spaces on campus or in designated moped areas if they have a permit. MSU police say the new scooters pose a safety risk when people ride them on sidewalks.
Well, we had a situation at Football Saturday where a mother was walking her child. It's actually a baby in her arms, and a young man on a bird came zooming up and hit the child in the head. One of the safety concerns is people just aren't anticipating them to be around.
Police say the company will have to pay an impound fee of $25 plus the cost of the parking ticket to get their scooters back. Police also tell us the scooters cannot be ridden in bike lanes on campus and must be driven in the roadway. Gym memberships can be a major headache when you try to cancel them, but for one Jackson woman, her health prevented her from going to the gym and being able to cancel it. Kathy Pagan was diagnosed with temporal bone infection and has to take antibiotics through an IV, which prevents her from going places. But as our Kellen Buddy reports, she was told the only way she could cancel her gym membership is to do it in person, something she says is just not possible.
And I told him that it could possibly harm his employees and his patrons.
Pagan says canceling her membership in person wouldn't be fair to her or the gym's employees and patrons.
I wanted to stay there. I wanted to work out. I didn't think I was going to be sick all this time. I kept having hope. And even now, you know, I thought he would work with me. And when I got better, I'll just go back there. And, you know, I don't plan on not being able to work out. You know, I hope that one day I can feel good and get physically fit.
Pagan says she tried to explain the situation to the owner, but didn't feel like she was getting anywhere. That's when she posted on social media and called News 10.
I've done everything I can. This guy will not work with me.
News 10 reached out to Powerhouse. The owner declined to talk on camera. He claims he wasn't able to get in touch with her by email or by phone.
And that was Kellen Buddy reporting. We talked to the owner of Powerhouse earlier today. He said that he will work with Pagan on her membership and has emailed her a cancellation form. We also spoke with Pagan, who said the situation has been worked out. It is pretty standard practice for gym facilities to make patrons cancel in person. So before you sign any contract for a membership, it's important to read the entire thing to know what your rights are in canceling. The Ingham County judge who sentenced Larry Nassar spoke to a room full of people today about preventing domestic violence and sexual assault. Judge Rosemary Aquilina was the keynote speaker at a fundraising luncheon for the Michigan State Medical Society Alliance. While many wanted to know more about the Larry Nassar case, Judge Aquilina hopes those in attendance took away the bigger message.
Doctors have so much contact with people that they should really change the mantra they are using so that when they're doing patient interviews, they're making a safe space there so that their patient can talk to them about what's actually happened, whether it's incest, rape, assault, domestic violence, they're being trafficked.
Proceeds from today's event will be donated to YWCA programs in Michigan that are addressing domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. A Florida boy stood up to his bullies today, but the way he did it landed him in some serious trouble with police. What he brought to school to fend them off. Plus, Michigan will soon be home to the longest canopy walk in the country. We've got a preview of the 4-story quarter-mile path. But But first, Senate leaders now saying a vote on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is imminent. We'll have those details when the News at 10 returns.
Sarah Swistak. Storm Shield weather with Dustin Bonk. This is Fox 47 News at 10.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he can now say with certainty the Senate will vote this week on the president's pick for the Supreme Court. This as key senators remain undecided ahead of the FBI report. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more.
When the FBI report is wrapped, it will go to the White House and become part of Kavanaugh's file. It will then be sent to the Senate. Leader Mitch McConnell has said he will not release the FBI's findings, while Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says it should be made public. However, lawmakers within their parties are split.
I think that the work product of the FBI's work should be confidential to the Senate, but all senators should be able to review it.
I think that's important to come out.
On Tuesday, Christine Blasey Ford's attorney said the FBI hadn't reached out yet. Quote, "It is inconceivable that the FBI could conduct a thorough investigation of Dr. Ford's allegations without interviewing her, Judge Kavanaugh, or the witnesses we have identified in our letters to you." While the president continues to back his pick, calling Kavanaugh a high-quality person.
Who is like a perfect person who's destined for the Supreme Court. I've heard that for a long time.
At least 3 GOP senators are still undecided. Jeff Flake, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski all saying they'll wait for the FBI's report.
I think the FBI is doing what we've tasked the FBI to do. That's all I can ask for.
4 California men have been arrested on new charges in connection with the deadly 2017 Charlottesville rally. The 4 were arrested on charges that they traveled to Virginia last year to incite a riot and attack counter-protesters. The men attended a torchlit rally on August 11th at the University of Virginia and the Unite the Right rally on August 12th in Charlottesville, where they are accused of committing multiple acts of violence against counter-protesters.
This wasn't, in our view, the lawful exercise of First Amendment rights. These guys came to Charlottesville in order to commit violent acts, and it wasn't the first time they'd done it.
The defendants made initial court appearances in California today and will appear in court again tomorrow. Federal officials said the charges carry up to a combined 10 years in prison. Some residents in South Carolina are still not able to return to their homes weeks after Hurricane Florence rocked the area. In some neighborhoods, at least 2 feet of water is still standing, and it could be at least a week before people can go back to their homes. The smell of rotting fish, among other things, is also taking over the neighborhood. FEMA officials are surveying the damage, but say they can't enter homes safely until the water recedes. A 9-year-old Florida boy was taken into custody after he brought a loaded handgun to his elementary school. Officers responded to Lauderhill Paul Turner Elementary School this morning after the boy allegedly pointed a gun at 3 classmates who he said had been bullying him. The boy was taken into custody on 3 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of possession of a firearm on school property. The case is still under investigation. If you have a mobile device, there's a good chance you'll get an alert from the president tomorrow, but it's only a test. Around 225 million devices will get the presidential alert at about 2:20 tomorrow afternoon. It's similar to an Amber Alert and severe weather alert messages. FEMA says the alerts would only be used in the event of a major nationwide emergency. After the break, tonight's consumer headlines and the details on how Kroger and Walgreens are teaming up to make grocery delivery easier than ever before. But first, Fox Means Business.
How your grown-up kids could be ruining your retirement. I'm David Asman with the Fox Business Network. More coming up.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
Amazon is making its employees very happy, and the golden years are going gray for many retirees. David Asman with the Fox Business Network has those stories and more in this edition of Fox Means Business.
Alexa, give Amazon workers a raise. Amazon, the maker of Alexa, saying it's hiking the minimum wage of all U.S. employees to $15 an hour. More than 350,000 workers in full-time, part-time, and seasonal jobs will get the pay hike starting next month. Investors raising the Dow to an all-time high on Tuesday. Folks are still optimistic a day after President Trump announced a new trade deal with Canada and Mexico. Gas prices are on the rise, jumping a nickel in the past month. The national average for regular unleaded is now $2.89 a gallon. The recent surge in oil prices is the big reason why you're paying more at the pump. And finally, forget young kids, adult kids might be putting the kibosh on mom and dad's golden years. That's because a new report from Merrill Lynch shows parents spend around $500 billion a year to support their adult children. That's double the amount they put into their own retirement accounts. That's business. I'm David Asman.
Tonight's Home Patrol price is way cheaper than the national average, $2.60 at the Admiral Station on South Cochran Avenue and Shepherd Street in Charlotte. We're looking for the least expensive gas price in mid-Michigan every day. If you see it, give us a call at 484-8847 and we'll put it on TV. Delta Airlines is partnering with a pet travel startup to help make traveling with pets safer. The airline has struck a long-term partnership with CarePod, a Singapore-based firm that will help carry and monitor pets, giving real-time updates about them to their owners. The change comes as the airline is changing its prices and policy for transporting pets. Delta currently allows some pets to travel as carry-ons, while others can be shipped. Kroger is trying out a new option for shoppers. Customers can order Kroger products online and pick them up at Walgreens stores. Right now, this is only offered at stores in Cincinnati that carry Kroger's private label products. This is just the latest effort to offer convenience to customers. Applebee's has officially unveiled the latest addition to their neighborhood drink menu, and it is seriously spooky. Just in time for Halloween, the Dollar Zombie is described as Applebee's by being a mixture of rum, pineapple, passion fruit, cherry, and lime, and it's garnished with a gummy brain. The zombie drink sells for just $1 through the month of October. Amazon is boosting its minimum wage for all 350,000 U.S. employees to $15 an hour. Fox News correspondent Hillary Vaughn has more from Los Angeles.
An online giant joins the fight for 15. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos announcing Tuesday he's raising the minimum wage for all U.S. employees to $15 an hour, a move that will impact some 350,000 workers, including those at the Whole Foods supermarket chain.
We listened to our critics. We really thought long and hard about our approach to wage and decided we wanted to lead.
The wage hike follows a long campaign by labor rights groups and some lawmakers who have criticized Amazon over pay and working conditions. One of the company's most vocal critics, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, had nothing but praise for Bezos on Tuesday, saying Amazon is, quote, doing exactly the right thing, and the momentum could prompt other big companies to follow suit.
What Mr. Bezos today has done is not only enormously important for Amazon's hundreds of thousands of employees, it could well be, and I think it will be, a shot heard around the world.
Retail giants Walmart and Target have also both raised minimum wages recently. The trend comes at a time when the labor market is tightening due to low unemployment. And as competition for qualified workers grows more intense, companies are increasingly willing to pay more.
Good for them. I'm in favor of higher wages.
Bezos making the right decision?
Well, look, it's a business decision. He's a pretty good businessman.
A series of nationwide protests kicked off Tuesday in Michigan. Fast food workers and others rallying in support of a $15 federal minimum wage. In Los Angeles, Hillary Vaughn, Fox Business.
After the break, one woman shares her story of resilience in the face of a devastating cancer diagnosis. How she managed to keep living life to the fullest.
Oh, some clouds tonight, some fog too, but there's rain out west. It's moving in. We'll tell you what to expect for a rainy Wednesday night coming up in a few more minutes.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10.
The fight against opioid addiction took a step forward today on the south lawn of the state capitol. Medical professionals were on hand to collect unused, unwanted, or expired pills. Organizers say this event is more important now than ever before.
Many of the individuals who have an opioid problem or have become addicted from opioids actually obtain the medications from someone else. So that's one thing that everyone in our communities can do, is to make sure their medicine cabinets don't have unwanted, unused medications.
This is the 9th year for the event. If you didn't make it, you can call your local health department to find out about other drug disposal options in your community. The Michigan Harvest Gathering kicked off today at the Cristo Rey Community Center in Lansing. The Giving Campaign collects food and money to help feed families who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Donations of non-perishable food are accepted through November 21st at state office buildings and Secretary of State branches. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer at some point in their lives. Jennifer Lopez was 41 when she was diagnosed with the disease, and while she says her journey has been a long one, she never gave up hope. As our Megan Heiler reports, her diagnosis didn't stop her from living life to the fullest.
Jennifer Lopez, also known as J-Lo, like the singer to her doctors and friends, was diagnosed in 2013. She says she found the lump in her left breast herself.
It was kind of like a pea-sized marble. You know, they always say do your breast exams and you don't really know what you're ever going to feel or look for. That I knew.
From there, she was diagnosed with stage 2 intraductal carcinoma, but decided to get a few other opinions. She says the more opinions she got, the more cancer they discovered. Soon her stage 2 breast cancer turned into stage 4, with cancer being found in her bones and even her liver.
You just feel, you know, you feel like you've been hit by a truck or a big boulder just smacked into you. Kind of takes the air out of you.
After the initial shock and sadness of her diagnosis, she made up her mind to fight despite the fact that her doctors told her she only had 6 to 12 months to live. So she married her now husband 3 days after her diagnosis.
We planned it within 3 days. There was no frills, and we walked out on the beach on Grand Haven, and I had everybody bring a beach chair, and they sat around us in a circle, and we got married.
Lopez's husband then set her up with an appointment at the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, where she says her battle took a turn for the better. Today, Lopez says she is still on medication but is considered to be in remission. She says attitude is half the battle.
You have to focus on the good and the positives, because we could all get swallowed up by the negative and thinking this is going to kill me. But that's the thing, it's not a death sentence anymore.
And that was Megan Heiler reporting. Lopez recommends getting multiple opinions from doctors if you ever do get diagnosed, just like she did. The Michigan Lottery has played a big role in funding education in our state, which is why it has teamed up with Fox 47 News to recognize excellent educators statewide. Here's this week's Excellence in Education Award winner.
Adam Vallis from Lansing High School in Madison Heights joins us as this week's Michigan Lottery Excellence in Education winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'd like you to take a look at that video right now.
We lost a student several years ago to cancer. Mr. Vallis did what naturally comes to him, and he led with compassion and grace. And for that, I will be always grateful to them.
Wow. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
I have a poster in my room that says, don't count the days, make the days count. And I tell them, you only have a certain amount of time to live, and you don't know when. So what are you doing with your life? I see the opportunity in kids, and I don't want the opportunity to be lost.
Adam receives a $1,500 check from the Michigan Lottery, and his class at Lansing High School receives a $500 grant. Excellence in Education Award sponsored by the Michigan Lottery, helping support public education since 1972.
Our congratulations go out to Adam. Now, if you'd like to see his entire interview, just head to our website, fox47news.com/EIE, and be sure to tune in each and every Tuesday as we announce that week's winner. A soggy start to our week is turning into a soggy end to our week. We'll have more on all the rain that's headed our way coming up next in Dustin's Storm Shield Forecast.
You're watching Fox 47 News at 10. Your Storm Shield weather forecast with meteorologist Dustin Bonk. Only on Fox 47 News at 10.
Now, it is homecoming weekend at Michigan State, Dustin, with a big parade on Friday. Lots of people outside. Yeah. So will it be drying out by then? Okay, that's not really certain.
We do have some rain looking pretty likely for Friday and Saturday. So between the 2 days, of course, was those most important days of the homecoming weekend, the parade, the football game. I am hoping that timing works out, but we do need to be prepared for some rain Friday and Saturday.
Bundle up. Fall rain is cold.
Temperatures aren't bad. The rain will make it colder, but we're talking 60s Friday, 70s Saturday. So there's a mixed bag in that regard. But let's start with rain talks, because here we are right now. Here's local radar. There's been cloud cover all day. I know some of us have been seeing a few raindrops or sprinkles or drizzles. Not much, but not really much showing you on the radar either. I know we've seen some rain on our sky cams, but again, very, very light. If you see any more tonight, it would be more of the same. For the most part, we're staying rain-free through tomorrow until tomorrow night. Here is local radar now. Got some fog going on, a few breaks in the clouds from time to time. Temperatures hovering into the 50s, 56 Lansing, 61, a little warmer in Hillsdale. Zooming out, we do have a lot of really warm air. Even now, late into the evening, over 80 Kansas City, over 80 St. Louis. That warm air moving into the Great Lakes. And we do really see a rise in our temperatures tomorrow, right back into those upper 70s. Still a lot of cool air out west. Our temperatures are going to be a bit of a roller coaster up and down until at least the next week. But regional radar and satellite, a few scattered little showers, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa. No big organized system. We might see just a few spotty little raindrops through tomorrow. It's not until tomorrow night that we see a next round of real thunderstorms. That's over 24 hours away yet. In the meantime, it's a warm Wednesday. Tomorrow gets us right back into the upper 70s. I don't know if we'll quite get up to 80. Might depend on if we get some breaks in the clouds. Otherwise, it is going to be a nice, warm, breezy day with some thunderstorms on the way Wednesday night. That's likely after midnight, and as soon as it passes, we see a very pleasant, less warm, sunny Thursday. Weekend rainfall is what we were just talking about Friday and Saturday, and maybe even a few showers on Sunday. It's not going to be the best weekend for all those homecoming activities, but hopefully some of it will work out. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, some occasional fog. Wednesday's forecast in the daytime, mostly cloudy. There may be a few peaks of sun, but watch out also for a chance for a couple of spotty showers in the daytime. There's not much firing up. You do see at least a chance, though, in the daytime. Just a chance. Many of us might stay completely rain-free. After midnight, late into early Thursday morning, this is expected. A line of thunderstorms could produce some heavy rain, maybe even some stronger gusty winds. That'll move across and likely be gone by your Thursday morning commute. It's an overnight affair, and then it's actually quite clear for later on Thursday afternoon. The next round of rainfall probably sometime Friday afternoon, which, yes, may interfere with the MSU homecoming parade. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But for tonight, mid-50s, mostly cloudy and some fog. Tomorrow gets us up to about the upper 70s, a warm and windy day out of the south. A few showers possible in the daytime. Our 100 Hanson's kid, Griffin from Hazlitt. And into that 7-day forecast, we're talking about some ups and downs in temperatures. Thursday and Thursday night will be a little bit cooler, but gets us right back into the 70s this weekend, all of which, mind you, is above average for this time of year. The weekend does have more rain and thunderstorm potential. Again, hopefully going to give us windows of clearness for, say, the parade, the football game, but be prepared for some rain.
Some good advice there, Dustin. Thank you. Well, it is time now for tonight's Yes Picks, and Norma sent in this first picture of her husband, Chuck, in the moment, as she says. I wonder what he's looking at. Up next, check out this pretty picture that was sent in to us out of Jackson. I love that sky. And finally, this shot sent in to us by Norma. She captioned it, "As the sun goes down." I like that bright orange color. All right, well, if you have a picture that you'd like to share, send us an email, yespics@fox47news.com. There's plenty to do around town this week, and Kirk Montgomery has the details.
Tomorrow is Potato Day at the Capitol, and what better way to celebrate than free French fries? Come help celebrate our spuds at the Capitol from 11 until 1 at the Capitol building. The free fresh cut fries and chips will be provided by Better Made Snack Foods, Great Lakes Potato Chips, and Uncle Ray's. And if you're looking for something a little more fancy, there will also be gourmet potato dishes. There will also be games and other free goodies for everyone. And we've got more local events and things to do right here on Fox 47. And if you have an event you'd like to share with us, you know what to do. Send us an email around town at fox47news.com.
Join the Fox 47 Yes Club for your chance to win free tickets and never miss out on another contest again. Up for grabs this week, a Halloween prize pack including a Kindle Fire, movie tickets, concessions, and more. Just go to fox47news.com/yesclub to enter. And as always, you can earn additional entries by sharing on social media. And don't forget, Fox 47 News at 5:30 has moved. You can now catch us an hour later at 6:30 p.m. You'll get your early evening news at a more convenient time and will be the only local news in that time slot. Big Bang Theory now airs at 6 and 7 p.m. and Last Man Standing is at 7:30. An unfortunate situation turned into an amazing act of kindness for one Wisconsin woman. As Dakota Sheriff reports, the woman was so astounded when her wallet was returned with everything in it that she now wants to pass her good fortune on to others.
I picked it out and I walked in. Oh!
Annis Perkins couldn't believe her luck.
Totally shocked.
She ran into an unfortunate situation.
I lost my wallet. It disappeared.
Perkins had everything from her driver's license, social security card, and even $500 in it.
And all I could think of was, oh, I wish I could get my wallet back.
But 3 days after it went missing,
my husband says to me, Annis, someone just rang the doorbell.
Perkins didn't see anyone outside, but she noticed something else.
I looked over here and this was partially open like this.
A peculiar envelope was in her mailbox.
I took it out and I opened it up and it was my wallet.